channel. Hope everyone had a good trading day today as we hit all-time highs on the ES futures as well as the NASDAQ and the Dow. So there was some good trading opportunities today, and we want to look at today using key levels with our supply and demand trading strategy on other opportunities on where we can get into take profit or to get into entries when we are between supply and demand zones, and are often levels where we will create additional supply and demand zones. So before we go into look at some examples of how this could work, I'm going to go over how you can find these levels. First off, I like to use the 1 hour time frame. You want to expand your time frame we can just go for 360 days. And then you're going to zoom out and you're just pretty much looking for key levels, looking at the 1 hour chart where we had multiple bounces or resistance at. So there's other levels below this 110, but you can see here this 110 level acted as resistance or support here, and then at all these different areas, and then here at 114 we had several bounces. So you look for areas where the price acted as support and resistance using past time frames. So here around 127, you can see it hovered around here and then bounced and then dropped, then above, then pulled back, it bounced there, held here, held here, held here. So that's a strong key level of 127. And then as we go up further, you see 130 here, held, then dropped. And then same for 131 here. All these bounces held there. And then you have these going further. And then I use the red as all-time highs to put in. But you can use those as just different levels of support and resistance that we've had in the past. And then you keep them on your chart all the time and can use them going forward for any other trades on any pullbacks. You can look for potential bounces at those zones or those zones as potential scale out zones as resistance. So if you entered here, you can see we rallied through this 130 zone and then we stalled here at 131. So that would have been a good profit zone or a place to look for puts at that zone. And then we dropped all the way back down to this 127 key level and then held there and then bounced again today over the 131 key level. So that's on how you can find them, and you can look all the way back and find these zones on any stock. So if they're stocks that are priced around $100 or more, usually I like to use whole numbers, but something like Snapchat, I have levels at not at whole numbers just because that could be a wide range. So we'll look at that, or even Palantir, which hasn't been around for too long, but have these different support and resistance levels marked out on the chart. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, for example, Palantir here, you can see this 25.26 is a key level that we hold. This 26.77 is a key level. So you're just looking for different spots where have acted as support and resistance over time, multiple times, and then you can mark those on your chart as potential zones that you can watch going forward. So now that we've gone over what they are and how to chart them, let's look at some examples today. So we will look at Apple. So we will go down to the 5-minute time frame to see from today. So currently we opened in 2 hour supply that ran to about 130, I believe. But there was no sign of taking it short. We opened and ran all day pretty much. So that zone is invalid. Oops. So we can remove that, as that's no longer a valid zone. And then you can look and see that we rallied, and then we kind of based out here at 130, and then we rallied again, based out for a little bit around 131, then we rallied, and then on this pullback, we pulled back and held this 131 key level. So I actually got in on an Apple call 132 strike at this zone right here on this bounce from there. And then I believe I scaled out. I only had one contract, and I got out about 27% out of it. I had moving my stop up as we were going up, and then I think I got out on this pullback, I believe. Wasn't trying to hold too long if the market did pull back, was just securing profits. But you can see from this key level here, we bounced at this 131 level, so that was a good entry. And you can see if we go to the 15-minute time frame that we did form new 15-minute demand here at the 130 level. So we could look for that on any pullback tomorrow or any future days at that 130 level as a demand zone that was formed. That was also a perfect rally. We based and then a rally. So you could have taken that long over this high or above this candle here and taken that long. So that could have been a quick scalp for that. Also, we had another one here on this retest of 131. So we rallied, then we based, and then we rallied again. It wasn't a huge rally, but that was another zone. So that could have been a good potential there. And then we'll look at Snapchat as well for today. So here we are for today. So we had 2-hour demand that was down here at 149.96 that we bounced at and kind of hovered around and stayed within on Tuesday. So then we opened up Wednesday. Looks like we retested that. So that would have been a perfect opening of that, which this zone also is a key level. This 2-hour demand is key level as well. So we pulled back and hit it a low of 49.95. So we hit this 2-hour demand within a penny of that. So that would have been a perfect entry right there to take that long. But we then rallied here. We kind of held around here, rallied. Then on this pullback, we held that zone and then rallied again here. So I got in the calls here. When we pulled back to the zone here, I got into a 52 strike call. And then I had a tight stop on it. Wasn't trying to make anything huge. And then I think I got out on this candle here. Just was trying to do, wasn't planning on holding long, only had one contract again. So I was trying to target if we did keep moving this 1-hour supply at 53.30. But you can see here on this pullback, we then held this 51.60 key level and pretty much based out at that point and then rallied throughout the day, the rest of the day from that zone. And now it's up another 60 cents to 52.80 after hours. One other thing I forgot to mention when doing your charting for your zones, make sure that when you are looking at your zones to turn on extended hours, just so you can see all things after market. That'll just give you just extra confirmation of your zone. So you can see this 5160 has been a good zone that we've bounced and held at consistently over time on any pullbacks or rallied through. So that was a key level, and then there's nothing really. You could possibly get zone somewhere around here, but nothing too strong. This is probably would be a good zone around in that area. And then to do the zones, I have them set up to do left extension on, so it'll go all the way to the left. Show names, we don't want to show a name. Right extension on, show price on the left. Have it as yellow, and then have it as the dotted. So if you're using it and doing a bunch, you can put it as save as default so that it will save it, and then you don't have to constantly update that. But now we have that other zone there. But if we go back to it, we can see, and now if we turn this back off. So I just want to call that out to make sure that you have extended hours turned on when you do your charting for your zones. But you can see here, if I had that zone, you can see that we rallied here, and as we're talking about it, we held here and then rallied to this zone and then pulled back, held this zone, and then rallied and closed at that zone. So this was a perfect example. As you can see, these can be easy, quick scalps that you want to get in. You could have ran this from 50.74 to 51.6. So that was pretty much a dollar move from this zone to this zone. So that's perfect different areas that you can get in for quick scalps. And then lastly, we will look at Palantir. Currently, we've been trading in this 3-hour supply. But if we zoom out, so I know on Friday we were pretty choppy within this zone. So I think I played some calls from this bounce in this little zone here. So there was a 75 cent on 0-day expiration, playing 27.50 calls, but you could have played just this bounce here to here to here to here. You could have had several bounces and just played calls from here to here, puts from here to here, calls from here to here, puts to here to here. So you could have had several opportunities, and then even have throughout the rest of the day, it was pretty much chopping around that zone until we sold off the end of the day on Friday. And then Tuesday opened up, rallied, hit this key level, rejected, kind of based here, and then finally dropped, rallied back, and you can see we were hovering around that zone. And then Wednesday we opened up, we're pretty choppy, and then this was acting as resistance again through the rest of the day. So these levels are good levels if you're within a zone. You can look to use as different opportunities. So you could have looked to take this when we failed this zone from short. You could have taken that. We could possibly find another support level down here, but then we rallied, same zone, hit it again, and then rejected again. So that will do it for the video. If you have any questions or any comments, please let me know, and everyone have a great one, and stay tuned for the next one.